heard this noise, and I'm going and I'm looking down the hallway, and the next thing I know, I get my gun, and I've got my gun out, and my soon-to-be wife wakes up, and I'm staring at her with the gun.
Jesus.
You know, to let me.
Me and my buddy.
Me and my buddy, we make it all of this money. Yeah, I know it's rude to be bragging. They never catching us slacking. Me and my buddy.
All right, guys, welcome back to Table One Podcast. We're going to run off without you there, but might as well introduce you guys. Co-host Justin Young, other co-host Art Parman, Mystery, and the Enigma himself, Kenna James is here.
Hey, Ed. Hey, guys. They say, that's Kenna James, bitch.
They do say
That's
that.
Why, no, well, they don't say that.
They
I said that.
mispronounced it.
I said that, you know.
I'm going to start saying it now.
Yeah.
Next time you come to my table, I was like, that's Kenna James, bitch.
Thank you. I appreciate it because these young punk kids, you know, they don't know anything past, you know,
The
their
young
nose.
punk kids probably don't even know that quote. I only know it from Chappelle's show. I mean, I guess that's where it came
That's
from.
right.
Right?
Oh, yeah, that's the only thing I know it from.
Okay.
I hope it's
I wasn't there with Rick James, is what I'm saying.
the Charlie Murphy stories were the fucking best back in the day.
So good.
Oh, my God.
All right, Kenna, I know you have seen every one of our episodes, and we do appreciate it. But just in case you haven't, we typically take back the viewership to where you were a little, I don't want to say bitch, but like, you know, a little Kenna.
I was a bitch?
Yeah, well, like,
wait, you
motherfucking
go
bitch.
So you go back to front instead of front to back, like where I am now, and then how I got.
I heard
here.
that gives you a yeast infection.
Yeah, yeah.
I get, wow. Oh, wow.
He's got two daughters. You can say that.
Two daughters, huh? Cleated a lot of diapers, huh? Wow.
But no,
That's some
it's
shit.
more about like how you grew up and then how people kind of fall backwards into this stupid, silly game of poker or gambling, either or, basically.
Yeah,
So-
we like to hit when
Yeah.
you were a kid. Did you play games with the family? You got any siblings?
I do. I have. I had one sister's passed. I have another sister and an older sister and older brother. Three of us. I was the youngest growing up in Chicago, and then we moved to Michigan. And I was always trying to be included, you know, with my brother and sister. And so, in any games, I just wanted to be part of it and be included. Thanks for including me, guys.
Happy
it's
to
like-
include.
And,
We're all filling holes here, you know.
And you know, so we didn't play for much other than pride. And this is
Everything.
what you got if you won, right? I thought so. I thought so.
Well,
So
I
what-
told you so.
Yeah, what kind of games then? What were you guys competing in?
Growing up, we played, you know, the basic table kitchen games, cribbage, pinochle,
Oh, yeah.
stuff like that. And then I think I was about maybe 14, and I was playing with my best friend David Miller, and we were shooting hoops. And his dad's in his new garage. He was Army Reserves, and him and his Army buddies are sitting around playing poker. And my pockets were full of my paper route money.
All right.
And he said, and they invited me to sit down again to be included.
Yeah, yeah.
And we played this game called, actually, I think I heard you talk about, called Guts.
Oh, dude, yeah, guts.
Yeah, yeah, hanging out.
Yeah.
Ooh, should we play?
You got a deck on?
Yeah, actually.
Or are we going to use our guts?
I mean, if you're a poker player, you don't carry a deck of cards around, you know. But I learned, you know, aggression wins
Mhm.
and courage. And I held my own and got a little respect, and that's where I caught the bug.
So that is held your own, mean you won, or you just like you
I
didn't lose
did.
that much?
I did. But I started, I mean, kind of a faulty strategy. I thought my first strategy was if I never let go, I can't lose.
That is
Of
pretty
course,
faulty.
of course, you got to keep matching the pot.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
And the pot grows pretty quickly when you're on paper route money, you know, collecting at
Sure.
this time, guys. I mean, remember, I hated, did you have a paper route? Was that one of your first jobs?
I can't even ride a bike. So
Art?
No.
I did not have a paper route.
Really?
No, I know.
What was your first job?
My first job was washing cars at a used car lot, and I lasted one day.
Wow.
I don't think I've heard the story. Why only one day?
Yeah.
It's because it's a forgettable story. My friend had the job, and then he moved on to something else, and was like, "Hey, man, if you want to do this, it's decent money, and all you gotta do is like wash these used cars. They don't look that good anyway." And I'm like, "All right." So I tried it, and I guess I just kind of rushed through it, and didn't do a good job.
Oh,
the
so they
was like,
fired you.
Well, kind of, yeah.
I mean, kind of. Like, if you wanted the job still, and he's like, no, you can't have this job.
Well,
that's
it was
called
more,
firing.
It was more like I was filling in for my friend for the day, and when he couldn't do it, and he was kind of on his way out, and then the guy was like, maybe that guy shouldn't come back anymore. So we're gonna call it not fired. I just filled in and didn't get called back.
Wow. What you didn't know is from your friend is that the only way he could leave is if you found a replacement.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
And he knew, was not it.
He knew you would do a shit job, so they're like, oh,
I did such a shit job.
What was your first job?
I mean, I did some stuff for my mom and my dad as far as like in their work. They had, like,
earn
kind of
your
retail
allowance,
stuff.
you mean?
Well, no. Like my dad worked at Radio Shack, and I helped him with inventory. Or my mom worked at a furniture store, and I would help with like logistics. Like I was like 12, but like my first official job was at Golden Corral. I was the greeter that got you your drink at Golden Corral. That was my first.
But you were born into money, I see. Dad owned Radio Shack.
Owned? No. He worked at Radio Shack.
Gotcha.
Radio Shack. No, my dad used to be a musician, and then he got in some trouble with the IRS, I heard. And so he didn't really have a whole lot of applicable skills into the real world, kind of like me.
What was his instrument?
Stand-up bass.
Oh my God, the big one.
Yeah. He was in a folk band way back in the day. Serendipity Singers. Go check it out, guys. It's great. I don't get any residuals, but
what's the name of it?
Serendipity Singers.
Serendipity. What a great word.
I think they had like one number one hit, so like they did okay for a second. Like, you know, we had money when I was like 4, and then we didn't have money when I was 5. That was basically it.
Wow.
You could spend it.
Well, I mean, I think it was. I don't want to like go too deep. I don't know if it was IRS or like.
I mean, you had some top ramen on the table at least.
I mean, my dad,
macaroni and cheese or something.
My dad drove like a 911 Boxster. Like he was Porsche. Like we had a place on the lake. Like first memories, and then I was living with my grandma. Next, you know.
All right. Well, you know, I do have a life coaching course. We'll get into that another time.
Is this for you or me? Oh, okay. All right. Come on.
All right. So back to me. So I'm on the paper route, right? The thing I hated the most, not getting up at 5:30 in the morning and going down to, you know, we grew up in a small town called Albion. It's 12,000 people. There's a famous college here, though, called Albion College. Kind of a manufacturing town after we moved from Chicago. So I'm in a small town, delivering papers, getting down there 5:30 in the morning, get my nickels, dimes, and quarters for my poker game now, you know. And but I hated going up on collection. And you had to knock on the door, you know, and a big bill was like $14.86, you know, and you had to ask for it, you know, and you knew who were the deadbeats. They had bills like $24.75.
Did you allow payment plans or anything? Was that even a thing?
Listen, I didn't run the paper thing. My job was to collect the money, and I just...
You're the enforcer.
I was the enforcer at 14 years old, going on to these big Victorian houses, you know, and knocking. Oh, horrible.
That is where the friction is. People want their papers. They don't want to pay, though. It's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, that was my first job, and then I used that money to parlay my poker career in the garage of a bunch of Army guys.
So did they invite you back after you beat the pants off of them?
No, I only remember playing. I don't know if I beat the pants. I probably won $1.12, but
a very specific number. I feel like it's exactly $1.12.
You know. So we can't let truth interfere with a good story.
Yeah, that is very true. This quick break. We just want to be here to tell you guys about Phenom Poker. Very recently, they have added MTTs to the repertoire. Every day, there's a good 10 to 12 tournaments going on right now. And in addition, if you're a first-time depositor on Phenom Poker, you can get up to 200% on $2,000 for a bonus. All you have to do is use our link, which will be posted hopefully right there. Here. I don't know where it's going to be. But you get on there, put on some money, get in USDT, and then come gamble with us, and you can get some rake back.
That's right. And if you see me or Justin at the table, definitely say something, and we will probably punt it off to you. You know, extra rake back for the fans.
That's right. We like to keep it in the family.
All right, back to the show.
All right. So, how are you as a student? Like, good grades, interest in higher learning?
About 3.5, maybe 3.25, something like that. And but I never saw another poker game or card game for 20 years after that.
Really?
More. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So kind of just went in a different path.
Well, let's talk about that path.
Well,
What'd you do?
Magic, mime, or clowns?
Yes. Yes, please.
Maybe not mime for the listener.
That's fair.
Yeah, there's not much to talk
some
about
people
there.
are just listening
There's not
to
much
it.
to talk about there other than I was in a department store window vacuuming, and building walls and shit. Yeah, it was.
Wait,
that was a bad time.
You
It was a
actually
bad time in
mimed
my
and
life.
stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
Fuck yeah.
And then I was Lubner the clown, big hoop pants with the suspenders, and going around to grade schools and doing shows like that.
Juggle something.
And then magic. I had my own birds and doves and stuff.
No shit.
Oh, I was
Art's dad was a clown.
It's true.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He was Squeaky the Clown.
Squeaky. I was
Yeah.
Lubner and Squeaky.
You
That
guys
would be a
gotta-
good match because he's Squeaky and I'm Lubner. Oh my God, we got to get together, me and your pops.
I have so many questions.
What's the most amount of items that you can juggle?
Well, only 3. I tried 4, but 3, in different variations.
Yeah, they get tricky.
Yeah.
How did you get into
Clowning.
clowning? Yeah.
Well,
I want to be
you
included.
can see
like,
I'm a
center of
goof.
attention.
I'm
Yeah,
a little
fair
bit of a
enough.
goof. So, how I got into that was I was a serious actor. Yes, I was very serious, and I went to Michigan School of the Arts,
Okay.
JCC, and then they would have these auditions for these regional theaters and stuff,
Mhm.
but I didn't get in there. The only offer I got was from this troupe called Midsummer Mime group in Indianapolis. But I was, 20 years old, and they offered me like $485 a week, which was
Oh,
for
that's
me,
good money. Holy shit. Yeah.
$415 maybe. I don't know. I'm a little loose on my numbers as I am in poker. So moved down, and first time out on my own, and woke up, and there I am, and there's 3 of us in this troupe: a gay guy, a lesbian, and me. And I'm this naive, straight kind of arrow,
Mhm.
trying to figure it out. And we put together this show, and they hired us, and we went around to schools, and we built the entertainment show for kids, and traveled around the Midwest and did that.
That's amazing. I don't-
Did not expect that.
yeah,
Not gonna
no.
lie.
I mean,
Well, I
I
said
knew
it was a bit of a mystery.
Yeah.
I did do some research and found out you were an actor.
Yes.
Actor first before poker.
That's right.
When did you move out to Hollywood?
1985. I threw everything in the trunk of my car and
left those
headed
mimes
west
behind. Huh?
with dreams of fame and fortune. That's why I first stopped in Vegas, actually,
All right.
1985.
Did you do any gambling while you were here? Or?
I did, unfortunately. I had about $200 in my pocket, my white Impala, and walked into the Sahara Casino.
Mhm.
That big wheel that they have. It was always in the front, and the doors were always open, and this big round guy with the tie and and I look, and I thought I was pretty smart. It's like 1 is almost every other
That's
number.
right. Mhm.
So I said, well, I'll put $5 on it. If it doesn't come, I'll just put 10, and then I'll put 20, and I'll just...
Sure, it's like guts.
gotta
Just hold it out there.
Yeah.
Just keep holding
you
it
hit
out there. Exactly. You got it.
Kenna Martindale. Yeah.
Yeah. So I proceeded to do that. And then pretty soon I only had $200. I was up to, losing $80. So my next bet was I was going to be all in.
Yeah.
And I said, shit, I couldn't believe it. So I go to the coffee shop, and I got to get going to California. I call my dad. Dad, I need some money. Sends me $200. God love him. That's sad.
Was that by carrier pigeon or Western Union?
The Western Union in
Yeah,
those
yeah,
days.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
I
wait,
got my
okay.
200 back, and I'm walking out, and the guy walking past the wheel, and the guy stops me and says, "Hey kid, good thing you stopped when you did. 1 didn't come up for 13 more spins."
Jesus. All right.
Whatever, I forget who he said the richest person would have gone broke.
Uh-huh.
Talk about deviation.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he said, number 1 rule in Vegas, kid, never chase your money.
Good rule.
Good thing we didn't follow it.
I know. I mean, I got all these lessons, but I didn't learn them,
So did you stay in Vegas for a night and then drive on? Or?
No, I
Oh,
hid
just
in
like-
my car and
dumped and run?
I dumped and ran. But the lights of Las Vegas, and that in those days it was even it's weird. It was smaller, but the lights were more shimmering.
Yeah.
It was like a shimmering city of lights in an oasis in the middle of the desert.
Because in those days they used the real lights. Now everything's LED. And
Oh, is that what it is? Is that why?
We'll say so.
Or less?
I don't know. It seems more iconic to think like the Stardust and the Sarah.
Exactly.
Like the twinkling lights.
And you're coming from like pure darkness, a real mirage in the
yes,
desert.
that's exactly what it felt like.
Oh,
And,
come gamble here.
So that light stayed with me, and so it's. But I definitely had that gambling bug in me for sure.
Well, I mean, choosing an acting career, kind of gambling in itself. How did it go once you got to Hollywood? Do you know anyone out here?
2 careers where only the top few percent can really do anything. Didn't go too well. A lot of stage plays and stuff like that.
That's what I was going to ask. What kind of like roles were you looking for? Comedic, dramatic, like
anybody who would put me in front of an audience.
I got you.
You know, kind of like you guys. So,
this is actually for us. We actually don't send this out to anybody.
No, it's
Martin
awesome.
and I just watch it by ourselves.
Are you kidding? No, I love it. I've been watching some of the shows. I really love it.
You said did you just fall immediately on your face? How long did you give like acting a go for? And
good 10, 11 years.
Okay.
I did some small B rolls. I did some soap operas, just day player stuff. I had
Guiding Light as the world turns. Any of that?
Young and the Restless.
There we go. All right.
Old and the Beautiful. Stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Did you fall down an elevator
so then,
shaft?
you know what happened is I got tired of just chasing, you know? You're just chasing and you're going to commercial auditions. The trunk of the car is just piled with clothes. You're changing clothes. You're waiting. I'm waiting tables. I was waiting tables. Interesting story. I'll come back to it. I actually rose as a server to be a server at Beach A of Beverly Hills, which is on Rodeo Drive, and I'm serving like Sidney Poitier, and stuff as I'm trying to become an actor.
Did you slip in some
demo tapes?
Demo tapes?
Yeah,
like,
I wanted to,
some
but he's ordering $800 bottles of wine, and I'm just freaking out. I hope I don't leave any cork in this thing, and God forbid somebody, makes an alteration to their order. It's an Italian restaurant. You go in the kitchen, the chef will throw a butcher's knife at you.
What?
Yeah, and so you're like, oh man. Anyway, so that had its own stresses of its own, but I'll come back to that. But anyway, so I'm doing that. I'm hustling and getting tired of it. And my brother Steve, his friend John Isaac, who graduated, he graduated Michigan State. He was a poker player. I kind of knew that, but he was out, and I usurped him as my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Take more money, but from richer people.
Well, I mean, the people that can, the ones that can take it. I
understand. There's definitely a predatory element to casinos. Free check cashing on payday, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Art and I have talked many times over our friendship about like having these moments of regret, I guess, or whatever. Like being a poker player, to his point, is inherently predatory. Like you're trying to take your friend's like money. That's and right, like sometimes that like your friend actually needs the money, and like it gets weird,
dicey,
and like
right?
You feel like a piece of shit sometimes.
Well, I would think so. You have these dilemmas and dichotomies because you seem like a pretty humble guy, Jason.
I tell myself every day,
super humble, humblest of all.
But
some would say the humblest.
but at the same time, we're in a zero sum game, right? For every benefit, somebody else has a liability. And that can be, if you have some moral compass, it can be tough to reconcile that. At least in the early days, as you're coming up.
Even now, like sometimes you start a podcast, and at least here, like
we're giving back something, sort of.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe. Help us.
Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
Seems like a good guy to rob, but continue. That's fine.
Exactly. He picks me up one day, and we're driving his car. He pulls in the gas station. He opens this compartment, and there's a stack of hunters about that big. How much that is. I said, "What is that?" He goes, "I'm like, fuck, I'm broke, man. I'm fucking broke." He goes, "That's my bankroll." Well, that's my thought too. But he was also my bookie, and which was a interesting journey there. But anyway, I said, "Wow, how do I do that?" And he said, well, I think you should go to dealer school. And then he handed me, if I can,
Yeah.
this, he handed me,
We got props. He's also
he handed
like
me
Gallagher.
This book right here.
That's
Hold them for advanced poker.
if you guys
David Sklansky?
David Sklansky.
yeah, I understand. I know I'm older than our average listener or whatever, but like that was my actually second poker book I ever got. And I probably read that thing about 20 times, like within a year.
A great fucking
Yeah.
book, right?
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It made me think I was good at poker for a little while.
Yeah. Well, nobody was, well, this is 95, 96, right? Nobody's studying poker.
Right.
I had a legal pad and I'm writing down every hand I'm dealt and the result, and people would make fun of me. You know, what are you writing a book? Yeah, you're the fucking subject. Yeah, because nobody's studying poker, and
No one was good. I mean,
that's right.
comparatively now. Anyway.
Comparatively, but
Right.
you know, it's so. But it was, you know, I'm playing 50 cents a dollar limit hold'em.
So you
with
went to
people on the
dealer
rent
school
checks.
to deal, but you played also at the same time, or?
Yeah, well, no, I wasn't playing yet. I learned to deal, which was Mr. Felix, which just, God, he was a great mentor. I had so many great mentors. So I call him.
I thought that was your dealer name, like your clown name. I'm Mr. Felix. I'm here
Mr.
to-
Felix. Mr. Felix was so into detail of execution. We would pitch for hours, cards into the mirror, you know,
Mhm.
and how you cut your chips. And I still coach that today when I'm talking about mechanics and stuff with people, how you handle the tools of the game. So he gave me that really good foundation. And then being able to read hands quickly and stuff, I
Mhm.
think that was a really good foundation. So, and then I started working at Hollywood Park Casino as a dealer. And and that's when I started playing 50 cents a dollar.
Like you would get off work and you'd be like, these guys are chumps, and try to sit at the same tables, or like,
Well, I don't know if I was saying they were chumps, because I was the chump. And, but it was like, I mean, it's such low level, you know, people look like they were taking their welfare checks or the rent checks. And I didn't like it. I had a
Right.
very tough moral dilemma there. You know, I like to think I was a moral guy, and, you know, it just didn't feel right. So I wanted to move up as quickly as possible.
All right, if you're watching this podcast, that means you like listening to our voice. Or maybe you don't. I bet you didn't know that in Card Player Magazine, every 2 weeks, they put our faces in there, but more importantly, they put a crazy story or two from our episodes into the magazine. So if you haven't seen that, you can actually go to table1.vegas/cardplayer, and it'll have a list of every single story that they've put from our show into their magazine. So you can watch it, or rather not watch it. You can relive the story without having to hear my voice. You know, I've been told I've got a face for radio and a voice for magazines. So, you know, don't really know what that means, but here we are. So if you want to see more stories, crazy ones, relive them from our show, the best ones are right here in Card Player. So go to cardplayer.com directly, click on the magazines link, and you can read them there. Or, like I said, table1.vegas/cardplayer has all direct links to the stories they've done about our show, about our guests. Yeah, check it out. I think you'll like it. All right, back to the show.
so how did the early days of grinding go for you? Like, were you kind of fish to water, just like, you know, kind of like immediately
Yeah,
just
I was.
better?
I was kind of a fish to water. Moved up pretty quickly, and I was also rising on the operational side. I became a tournament director or assistant director to Denny Williams at Hollywood Park Casino, and started to get to know some of the people. Phyllis Caro, Mike Caro.
Yeah.
That's where I met Marsha Wagner.
Yeah.
Who was my second wife. But which came together over poker, which was very interesting because Marsha's 20 years older than me. So that was
I read that this morning, and I did not know that for whatever reason. I
Yeah.
feel like I've known you
the
forever.
Grand
Like,
Dame of poker.
Yeah.
Grand Dame, I'm sorry. Grand Dame. Well,
So,
sorry, babe.
you guys broke up like amicably. That's nice.
Somewhat amicably. But, you know, in those days, I mean, Marsha, she's in the Women's Poker Hall
Oh,
of
yeah.
Fame. And so she knew everybody. And that kind of, and then she has a very personal story with her son who committed suicide and unfortunately, and I was just this naive kid, from the Midwest, looking for guidance. Even though I had a family of my own at the time, I was trapped between career and family, and a lot of times when in any arts or poker or whatever, people have a hard time juggling that. And I certainly did as a starving artist and now as a starving poker player, trying to navigate those waters. And I think somebody said one time, talented people, not that I'm one of them, but talented people often live a compromised life. And that certainly was the case with me.
I read a story that you and I guess your wife did the first poker tournament in Russia. Is that true?
That's true. So
How did that come about?
Marsha first introduced me because I was living in LA, to Vegas, the WSOP, and all of a sudden, all these stars, Jeff Lissandro, who was running the Cosmos Casino in Russia, and I was a tournament director. So she introduced me to him and says, "Hey, I want to run a first tournament, major tournament in Moscow, Russia." And I was nervous as hell. Matter of fact, I shaved back in those days, I shaved my head just to look tougher. That's how bad it was. And went over there
Cold
for
War.
5 weeks in the middle of winter. Is the worst experience of my life to this day. And the only way I survived is Jeff kind of took me under the wing and he says, "Listen, I'll stake you in the 200, 400 game. Just I need you."
Well,
And I wanted to bail many times, but got through it. It was a very tough experience.
All right. Did Marsha go with you as well, or?
Yeah, so it's Marsha, Mel Judah, and me.
Mel Judah, that's a good name.
Yeah,
Okay,
they were good friends from Australia, and it was just. I think Marsha fell down and hit her head, so she was in the hospital in Moscow, and then I'm in this hotel, still a young guy.
no hair in the freezing
No
cold.
hair. Going out in
Didn't
the
think that
freezing
through.
cold because I'm jumping in. This is before there was Ubers. You just hail a car, right?
Yeah.
You hold your hand and you just hop in the stranger's car in Russia going somewhere, right
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
hospital,
kinda.
to this hospital to see how she's doing. And it's in the middle of the night and you come back and there's these checkpoints with these guys with these machine guns, and they're looking in and I was just too stupid really to know I was probably in a dangerous area.
How's your Russian?
Not too good. But I remember talking to this. I remember talking to this guy, an attorney. He goes, "Never forget this." I go, "So you?" He could speak broken English. Yes, where do you live? Well, I live in the forest. He lives in the trees. He's telling me,
I don't know.
Things are bad. You just look in the mirror and say, "I'm okay. Things are going to be okay. I'm okay." And I go, "Oh, that's good advice."
I think I did that this morning. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Funny. Anyway, so that was Russia, and then it was Amsterdam. I made my first international final table in Amsterdam, which was another interesting story because I didn't have any money, and Marsha wasn't going to put me in the tournament, so I had like $200, and I go across the street and win my way into a satellite, and
Win it through poker?
And then,
You won it through poker with the satellite, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
And then got
Some
into
people have blackjack satellites,
got into the main event, and I think I finished sixth. Ace King versus Ace King, but his was suited and mine was offsuit, so sometimes 3% makes the difference.
Yeah.
But that was boy. Now I'm traveling internationally. I have some slight legitimacy. That was the Master Classics of Poker.
Mhm.
And wow, I thought, okay, this is something exciting.
Yeah, your whatever card player results in the mob, whatever. It's really interesting to look at. I'm not gonna lie. I was had a really good time. A lot of $100, $200 buy-in type stuff or whatever.
Still today, yeah.
And
Sure, I'll play anything.
But I meant in the early days at least.
Yeah.
But like every once in a while, it'll just be like
Lake Elsinore.
yeah, 2,200, a 5K,
Yeah.
it's kind of all over the map.
This when I was going down to Lake Elsinore, this is like 98, 97. I'm a motorcycle, and I've got platinum blonde hair now. I've grown my hair back and a black leather. I'm trying to find who I am, right? Story of my life. Who am I? Right? Those are some deep questions. We'll get into that later. But so I'm driving, 100 miles an hour down to Lake Elsinore. But that's where I first played with Alan Cunningham and David Levy and some of the old people. What we were trying to do is find the best tournament with the best structure. $100, $200. And those were good times, man. You didn't care. You were just,
No structure sheets on the internet back then to look at. You just had to go figure it out.
No, but in their advertising, they would say, and we did. But yeah, Alan Cunningham was there. I remember that. And, and some of the old school guys were coming up at that time.
So I imagine you cut your teeth like a lot of people in that time with like limit poker.
Yeah, I did.
But I noticed a lot of like no limit results before no limit was really popular most places.
Right. Yeah.
Like what did you seek out no limit tournaments or was that?
I did. I liked no limit. I went limit hold'em, then it went pot limit.
Yeah.
So I was playing 2-5. Can I tell you a story about that?
Please.
So all right, Hollywood Park Casino. Of course, I had so much ego at the time. Not that I don't now, but way, way more. And I always wanted to play in the biggest game, which at this time was just a 2-5, I think, pot limit hold'em game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was 5-10. I don't remember. But so we're up there and we're playing, and Rounders had just come out, and which was a little bit controversial at the time, just because poker back then, people are smoking, they're drinking, they're throwing chairs, pissing on the dealer. I heard one story. It wasn't Wild West, but it wasn't far removed. And so Rounders, it had that seedy side to it. So I say to the guy next to me, well, what do you think of that movie Rounders? And he looks back at me and says, well, I wrote it, right? And everybody burst out laughing. Everybody knew but me, which is another story of my life. Everybody knows the secret but me. Is Brian Koppelman.
Mm-hmm.
So I go, no shit. So now we're talking about all.
I love it.
Now we're talking about all our favorite lines, And I say, God, when Ed Norton comes in and he's like, in the poker game of life, women are the rake. They are the fucking rake. And he goes, that's interesting about that scene? Oh, man, Mike, she made off with your sheets. He said that was totally ad-libbed. So we're going back and forth. Who calls 2 minutes later? Ed Norton on the phone.
Huh.
Hey, I'm over at LAX. Hey, we're at Hollywood Park Casino. Why don't you come by? 30 minutes later, Ed Norton walks in the door. He's got his little base spot, American History X. This guy's small, tiny, unassuming. Hey, join us. That's too good for me. Goes and plays 6-12 limit hold'em. Such a humble guy. It shows you the dichotomy of people. But anyway, that was just, I thought, wow, that just happened, And there's moments throughout my life, and this is one of them.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we could be a part of it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously, you're taking me back, and it's really interesting. Yeah.
It is one of the most joyful parts of poker that it's like that great equalizer that we always say, where you never know who you're going to be sitting next to. Could have directed your favorite movie, your favorite poker movie, or, it could be some CEO of some company.
You play with any famous players, Art? Or
actually, the most recent one that walked into our game, walked by and saw Justin and recognized him from playing poker years ago was Michael Phelps. He came and played poker with us and played a tournament with him a long time ago. That's probably the most famous person I've ever played with.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. He's a pretty good player.
I think he got to play with Mr. Beast, which is a new famous person, I suppose. Yeah. But it's I outside of my nephews, I don't tell anyone else that story.
I stacked him. He gave his money away to me.
But speaking of which, and kind of speaking of directors or whatever, I saw you, and this is the person I've actually played with before. Saw you final tabled an event with Todd Phillips.
Yes.
Did you know who he was? At the final, do you know who Todd Phillips is, Art?
Is that the main event red hat guy?
Shut up.
Sorry, that's Dennis Phillips.
Todd Phillips wrote and directed Hangover, and like when I played with him, he was in Vegas, like directing for The Hangover, but he did some other stuff too that you would like.
Okay, yeah.
Either way,
I'm invested.
Well, I'm just saying, like he also gives himself a cameo in all of his movies, which I think is fucking terrific. Either way. So I got to play with him.
Joker. He did Joker.
Yeah, the original Joker, or not the original, the newer one with Joaquin Phoenix or whatever. He did that.
All right.
Do you know any of this stuff?
I know the movies.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know the guy.
Right. He's a white guy with an afro, basically.
He's the real deal.
Yeah. But either way, he's very talented.
Yeah.
But personally, I didn't find him all that humble or nice when I played with him, to be honest.
Yeah, that's all right.
But like I'm not trying to force words down your throat, but like, how was the final? Because you made a final table with him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll tell you, I'll give him a little credit. And in his interview, I think I remember he said, "Well, Kenna James is clearly the best player at the table."
Well, fuck yeah.
And we had Tim Fan, who was a really good player in that time, and Kevin O'Donnell, I think, was there. Anyway, yeah, I've never been totally awe-stricken, but I've really admired a lot of, whether it's Ben Affleck or Todd Phillips or Michael Phelps or, the players. I think I'm more in awe of some of the poker greats I've played with, that are just able to not only achieve success, but maintain it over a period of time. But back to Todd, great. I had nothing but a good experience with him. Okay. I didn't play long with him. I think he went out maybe fifth or something.
Fifth or sixth, yeah. But like it was a pretty big tournament or whatever. I wasn't sure if you got to play.
Yeah, it was the longest final table in WPT history up to that point. And I think I kind of screwed myself on that one.
How so?
Yeah.
I'm
sure I watched it. I'm sure I've forgotten what happened to you, but
no, I kind of like this actually. It keeps coming back here. As I said, hey, let's
knock back.
I knew he was Irish, Alex Kahaner. So let's drink. And they had these little shelves under the table, and we're 8 hours we're drinking. And I'm Irish and German, and nobody's going to outdrink me. And this guy could hang, man. But by the end, he ends up, how much more is it? 2 million? Well, nobody's ever going to call you with this, and ends up calling me with Jack High, right? I mean, I had him beat with an ace, but I didn't want him to call. I wanted to keep chipping away at him. But, maybe his defenses wore down because of my hustling, trying to get somebody drunk.
So you're saying you fucked yourself by getting him drunk and getting it in good?
Well,
yeah.
Sounds like you did okay. It just didn't work. I'm guessing a Jack king.
Man, you bring the practicality into everything.
I mean, his point is like he could have worn him down and just won or whatever.
I guess
but you introduced variance into the situation, which is a drunk person's best friend.
Yeah. Thank you.
Was it, what year was that? If we're getting back on the timeline?
2005.
Yeah.
Oh, 2005. Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to skip too far ahead. We were talking about famous people or whatever.
That was good. And just closing up the loop on Marsha. She helped me so much in many ways. First introducing me kind of this small, kind of not a country boy, but small town boy to, travel and go in the world. I remember meeting Johnny Chan for the first time in Austria, and just getting a TJ Cloutier and, a lot of the old guard and old timers, and like teaching little standards and values, like, never call a raise with less than king, queen suited in those days, because the philosophy, tight is right, no set, no bet. It was like, it was a totally different world, man. Trying to eke out a profit there. Yeah. No set, no bet.
Yeah, I mean, well, it works.
But she was great and instrumental in that. Unfortunately, I had this competitive, both of us were very competitive, she and me. And as I was coming up, I don't know actually what happened, but competition off the felt with your significant other is never really a good thing.
I buy that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just a quick break here, guys. Are you tired of playing with players like this? Not this.
No.
Like this? Or this?
Or Do you want to play with players like this?
Oh, wait, If you like having fun at the poker table, Table 1 is the game for you. We play high stakes, no limit, 100 blinds. And if you want to get into the game, it's actually super easy. We have a website, table1.vegas. You just go to the website, you click get a seat in the game, and fill out the form. It's that easy. It's your name, it's your phone number, it's the date that you're here, and I will personally reach out to you.
And it's only $5K minimum buy-in. Run it up at 2.5 and join us. So you have a different perspective of the poker boom, the Moneymaker boom, the internet boom, whatever it is. Like a lot of our guests, they're like, oh, I was 12 at the time. And it's just like, oh, shut up. Like no one wants to talk to you. But I am honestly, I love talking to some of the older people and kind of how their experience was. Like Freddie Deeb is one of my favorite ones, like through this time.
Oh, yeah.
But like, what was your experience during this like thing that you were doing?
Yeah.
But like, it was kind of, when I say poker was on a smaller scale, not what you were doing. And then all of a sudden poker just became in everyone's mouth all of a sudden between Rounders and Moneymaker.
Well, specifically, like you had the deep run with Moneymaker the year he won, right? Didn't you finish 38th that year?
Wow,
that's
good.
very
Boy,
specific.
some homework there.
I did some homework.
And I'm sitting right between Johnny Chan and him in that battle.
So I guess, did you have a sense that like poker was ready to explode on that run or not till after?
Kind of. It went from the late 90s where we were worried about the game because you couldn't get new fish and new blood into the game to keep it circulating.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's when I met Mike Sexton, and he was tooting around. That is the word. It's like tooting. It's one less O. He's toting around his briefcase, selling his different ideas on poker, and he was the guiding light there because we were worried about that. So when Moneymaker came around, nobody could believe this guy's name, first of all, of course.
Sure.
But the tournaments in those days, if you had 150 people in a tournament, it was
huge.
It was good. So I think I played the main event, my first main event in 2002.
The Marconi
effect.
The
year before.
Yeah.
And then in 2003, there's 437 players maybe, and they wrote us up on a white
dry erase board.
That's right. And you walked up and you pulled your seat and they announced your name and it was a presentation and you'd go to lunch with your competitors. It was just fantastic.
And I've recently, in the last month or two, I've gone back and I've rewatched the ESPN footage of basically Moneymaker through Hashem, like whatever, the first 4 years. But I will say, A, it's very nostalgic. Everyone should go do that. But B, like you have a very famous, call it a cameo is a little strong, but like a very famous hand against Howard Lederer.
Right.
Like, I mean, that's how I remembered you the first time. Like I played, I was like, oh my God, that's the guy that was in the hand with like Howard Lederer.
Under the jacket.
He had two.
Yeah.
I think he had two queens, I believe,
That's
and like you 4-bet ripped on Howard. And I think he had dust bunnies, or he had
he had 2 6s.
Okay, yeah,
He had
and
2 6s, but
and he stared him down for fucking ever, and like finding her is like.
I just had this thought in my head. I said, because I'll tell you how that came about is sunglasses were starting to become controversial. Like whether you should wear sunglasses or not, and if you're hiding. So I just had this thought in my head is, boy, this would be funny if he was just staring at a headless person.
Read this, Howard.
Yeah. It was a marketing ploy more than anything.
Well, you're an actor.
But I'll tell you, there was some truth in this. About the significance of the moment. We're deep in the main event. It's only my second year playing in it. And this is a little embarrassing, but the truth is I remember getting drawn to the TV
the feature table, yeah.
And we're deep in the event, and I go out on break into the Binion's garage, and I call my brother, and I just broke down in tears because of I just felt overwhelmed by the moment. And I mean, that's the kind of stuff you don't really see, because you gather yourself, you come back and you put on your poker face. But and that's probably why I went out. Chris beat me in a key hand. Actually, they don't show it, but yeah, I was overwhelmed and not ready for the moment. So.
Well, they say it all the time in sports, and I think it's true in poker as well. I think you have to kind of like earn your place. Like you have to like get a little calloused, I would say. Like you have to like usually people don't just win the first final table they get to. Just typically speaking, like you have to like, you know, put in your dues. You have to like feel the feelings, let it go through you, and then like next time you get there, like, oh, okay, it's not as bad as I thought. And then like maybe you get like third that time.
Through repetition.
Like, right. And then like all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm gonna make a lot of final tables in my life. I'm gonna win this one.
Do you remember your first final table?
The very first tournament I played, I was lucky enough to final table and win, but like
Good story, Justin.
Yeah, good story.
But no, but on TV, I think.
well,
It doesn't apply to me, but for most people.
No, okay.
For the normies.
Two things happened at that final table. The very first thing, Mike Lang, the clown prince of poker.
What happened to Mike Lang?
I don't know, honestly. Like he was a very aggressively funny guy, but like funny to the point where you didn't know if he was joking or not.
Wait,
like,
are you talking about Mike Lang, the guy who ate his two kings?
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, the tough guy.
No. He was a smaller, just like funny guy or whatever.
Oh,
like,
no.
I looked him up at like the clown prince of poker.
Oh, no.
But either way, there was a spot where like I misclicked and like he like called the floor on me and then he jammed because like I looked scared as shit and I was, and I ended up calling off of like second pair and like it just happened to be good. Yeah, I mean, I was. This is my first very first tournament I ever played. It was like a daily tournament at Bellagio, like in 2004.
Okay, gotcha.
Either way, so I ended up like just I fucked up out of fear, and then like I called all in because I was too scared to fold, and then I got heads up against this guy, a super nice guy, and Jack McClellan came up to me and he's like, "You guys interested in a chop?" And I was like, "What is a chop?" And he's just like, "Oh, well, you guys don't have to play anymore if you can divvy up the money how you want."
To go home.
And I just looked at the guy and I had him covered 2-1 or something like that. And I was like, 50-50 seems fair. And he was just like, yep, let's do that. I was like, oh, really? We're just done and I get like this much money? Let's do that. And like I was so happy. So when I say I won my first, like I chopped, B, I gave a terrible deal, and C, I played terribly.
This is the humility coming through, by the way. But let's market that. Fucked up. What is it? Fucked up by fear? What was that?
I think I said I called by fear or something like that.
Fucked up.
Too scared to fold.
No,
too scared to fold.
Fucked up by fear. I think we can make a shirt out of that.
Yeah. But too scared to fold. Fucked up by fear. We got a whole market line coming out.
But I will say, like in my first actually bigger events or whatever, like the WPTs and WSOP, like I would whatever. I had a handful of like 12s, 10s, whatever, and like I honestly don't think I was ready for the time because there was no comfortability for me. At the table, I was scared shitless. And then I go on break and I'm literally like shitting myself, like running to the bathroom. And like, I don't want to talk to anybody because I'm scared I'm going to say something stupid or do something stupid. Wow. And like that, like to me, like I do think it's a real thing to where you have to cut your teeth a little bit and kind of put in the time. And then once you get comfortable with like, okay, it's okay if I lose this flip, like, but I'm going to put a pressure on this person as opposed to like, I'm terrified, I'm going to fold, or I'm terrified, I'm going to call, like whatever. Like,
Not. It comes down to not being, no matter what stage you are in the game or what game you're playing. It's not getting overwhelmed by the game itself. You know, remembering you're playing a game, you're not the game, and which that's interesting. Bellagio. So we played the first WPT at 10,000 event ever. I think it was 2002, maybe. And small field, but that's when they're selling the WPT. They put out metal folding chairs. Were you?
No, that was slightly before my time.
Okay, so yeah, and Henry Orenstein and Steve Lipscomb and Mike Sexton, they're selling the players on the idea of the WPT, and we're sitting there watching a presentation and all that stuff. God, it's just amazing. So anyway, get into this. Must have been after I won, because all of a sudden I'm playing in this 10,000. I don't know. I don't remember, but. But my point is that it was new, and Gus Hansen is there, and Bobby Baldwin, and I look back at it now as this nostalgia. And what happens is I played with Gus on day 2 and day 3. He sits, he's right on my left. And again, I get overwhelmed by the moment. This guy raises. I have like pocket jacks or pocket 10s, and I'm so nervous that if I flat this guy, he's just going to steal.
Right. So
I panic and over raise and over bet and move in like a dummy. And Gus thinks about it and calls with 2 queens and knocks me out. like about a few before the money, and goes on to win that tournament. That's the story you see. Well, the story you don't see is I walk out of the room kind of dazed, just walking down the Bellagio hall, and all of a sudden I'm in the bathroom in a sink, and I'm, again, something people don't know about me. I'm a really emotional guy, deeply emotional guy, and I'm washing my face, and I look up, and all these women are staring at me. I'm in the women's restroom.
Gus Hansen almost knocked you into jail.
Knocked out by ladies twice.
Oh my God. And that's where I learned the lesson: never go broke with a queen in your hand. Oh my God, that's great. Knocked
funny.
out by ladies twice. So yeah, it could be as you're coming up, it can definitely be a challenge dealing with the game.
Yeah. And for viewership or whatever that somehow don't know who he is or whatever, please look him up. His results, well over $4 million, multiple finals tips. Oh, I will warn you guys, when you don't just put in Kenna James. Apparently you're not the most famous Kenna James out there. There is a porn actress named Kenna James.
Yes, true.
That I got distracted from looking up your stuff for a little while.
Yeah. That's right. You got a free pass now with your wife. Hey, babe. No, I'm doing research.
I'm with Kenna James this morning.
But either way, like tons of results. Like some early on, like I don't know, just like it's so cool. Like seeing results from like the 2000 2K No Limit event at the World Series of Poker or something like that. Like I don't know. Like I immediately just like click on the results and I'm like, oh wow. Like you were there for one of Helmy's like bracelets or whatever. You got whatever 15th or something like that. It doesn't much matter, but like I really enjoy that. So I encourage everyone that's kind of a poker nerd like me to like kind of go back and look at its results.
What year was the Party Poker Cruise, the big one, the 700K score that you had?
So now we're up to 2007.
Okay.
And I think, it took me 8, maybe 6, 7 years before I won my first title. Which was Hustler Casino.
You did have a lot of seconds and thirds in there before.
Yeah. But that was my first. And then I won, I think, about 7. It was like the floodgates opened up. Like you figured out what was going on,
Yeah, 05, 06, you could like mashed for everything, basically.
I thought I was the shit. And so 2007 came around. Interesting story about that one, Party Poker Million. It was the largest limit hold'em event, 10,000 buy-in. I ended up losing to Mike Schneider and finishing second for 700,000. Mike Schneider, tremendous limit hold'em player. But what's funny about that story is how that came to be is we're sitting in Aruba. Was that after Monte Carlo? So Monte Carlo, I won. I final tabled with Ivy. That the one he had Paul Jackson. They were going back and forth. That famous hand.
Ivy won for like $1 million. You got like 7th for like 100K or 6.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I come down the next day. I plan on spending about a week in Monte Carlo, and it's rainy. And I come down to the lobby, and there's Jennifer Tilley and Phil Locke. Hey, what are you guys doing? Well, we're going over to Aruba. There's a tournament. Look out the way. I want to go. Well, we're doing this production called Extreme Poker.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember that?
I do. They would like skydive, and if you got knocked out, you had to jump out of the plane.
Right. And I said, I want to go. They called the producer. Says, well, if you can get to London in the next 4 hours, you can, get on this charter plane with us. That's poker. So I'm there. Get out of the flight. Boom. And so we're flying, and then all of a sudden we're in Aruba, and we're playing poker down 30 feet underwater. So this is the day when they had all these poker shows like Celebrity versus Pros and, the Ultimate Poker Challenge and the Poker Den, and all these. Poker was just booming. Yeah. And I was just lucky. I mean, I was just sitting there,
Yeah, the world's so small. I mean, you're an insider, right? Like all these people, and you're getting chartered plane.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
And I'm just in the club, kind of.
Right.
I'm sitting at the bar with Sexton and this guy Ralph, and we're drinking, and have similar belly to what I have now, the poker belly we call it. And everybody's trying to lose weight, right? And
poker belly.
I can't wait to say that to my wife.
It's just poker belly.
It's just poker belly. Standard poker belly.
Instead of pork belly, poker. So I get the brilliant idea. Hey, let's have a weight loss bet. And, prop bets were big at the time. And it was kind of a complicated bet, but I think the story's worth it. This is a story. If you ever, I don't know if anyway, it's a prop bet. The prop bet I won, and it cost me $500,000.
All right. I like this.
Shit. Okay. Continue though.
So all right. So we make this tiered bet, right? Where this was like in the summer. So by Christmas, you had to lose like whatever it was, 10% of your weight. And if
who are you betting with? Sorry. No.
Go with Sexton and this guy, Ralph.
Okay.
And if you didn't make it, you put in, I think it was $5,000 or $10,000. And if you're the only one that made it, you got the kitty.
Mm-hmm.
And if two people made it, you split it. And then you had to do it again, another 10% by the World Series.
Oh, sick.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Or somewhere around there. Anyway, so we launch in leg one, and comes Christmas time. And Sexton calls me up and says, well, I just been filming all day. You guys should give me more time. And I said, come on, Mike. He says, all right, well, I'll meet you at 24-hour fitness over here on Tropicana. I go down there. It's about 11 o'clock at night. He weighs in. He's like 9 pounds over.
Mm.
He goes, all right, well, no, I can do it. Says, come on, Mike, you can't. I'll bet you $250,000 I can do it. I said, holy shit. Okay. Well, let's get going. He goes and gets some shorts. No, he doesn't have shorts. He's in his skibbies. He goes into the sauna, right? He's sitting in the sauna, and I'm sitting with him, and we're talking stories, and then he goes into the jacuzzi. Then he's back to the sauna, jacuzzi, sauna. We're doing this for like 2 hours. And he goes, and he's like he's lost like 4 pounds. I'm like, holy shit, this is working. So we get Ralph on the phone, and we're talking about it. And he says, well, let me just buy out for like $3,000. So we succumb, and he buys out.
Mike does or Ralph does?
Ralph.
Mike does.
Oh, Mike. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, no, Ralph is in it. He'd lose his arm rather than he'd lose a fucking bet. He'd just chop his arm off. So the second stage, this is a long story. Is this all right?
This is great.
All right. So the second stage comes up, and I'm on this lemonade diet where you don't eat anything, you just drink water.
So before we get to the second stage, so Sexton bets you $250K. He can lose 9 pounds in a night?
Yeah, and I say, come on, Mike, it's ridiculous. I don't have $250. I'm not betting you. He's just making his point.
I got it. So you didn't call that bet?
No,
I didn't.
I had to
call
ask
that
because you said he lost $500K.
It's Mike asserting. Mike, just the loveliest guy, but super, super competitive.
Okay, so he buys out of that one for
bets
$3K.
through the years. Super competitive dude. Above everything else, winning.
All right, I'm back on board.
All right. So stage 2 comes around, and again, now I'm not eating. I haven't eaten in a week, but I'm there. I'm like right on the mark, and I'm starting to see cheeseburgers, right, in my dreams, and so they call me up again wanting a settlement. I say, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put Marsha in the limit hold'em tournament, 10,000. I says, now, I love Marsha. She's a good poker player, but not great at limit hold'em. I say, she can't do it. No, I'm not going to do that. And we'll all split at a third. All right, we'll put Richard Sklar. We'll put him in. Oh, Richie can't play limit hold'em. We'll put you in. I says, I've already paid my 10,000. I'm in. That's right. We'll give you the cash. And we'll each take a third. I said, okay. Forgetting, of course, that I'm already there and I'm already bought in.
Yeah.
This is how, when you get hustled, this is how dumb you are. You know what I mean?
So you were going to win this bet.
I'm going to win the bet. I just got to hang on for 3 days, but I just want to end the bet because I want
to win it. But like instead he free rolls his friends.
Yeah. So I want to feed my poker belly.
Yeah.
And so like an idiot, I agree to this deal and they're free rolling on me. Then I go on to win 700,000. Mike, here's 250. Ralph, here's 250. And this is how you win millions of dollars and you got nothing to fucking show for it. Because you're dumb and you're just like,
That's a good fucking story.
And so I won the bet and it cost me $500,000.
All right. I wasn't sure where that was going. And
Now,
I love it.
I mean,
That's really good.
I guess the real story is how you could be as stupid and as naive as I am and still be able to survive in this world.
And still be invited onto the Table One podcast.
Yes, exactly. Well, I've never made it to table 1. I'm like on table 6 or 7. But anyway, so that's that story. And
that's pretty fucking good.
and I think that's probably when I started to realize, not fully yet, because I had a lot of golf bets with Mike Sexton, that don't try to hustle a hustler.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm living on the block, of Phyllis Carroll, Mike Carroll, Ralph Rudd, Dudley Rudd, and Richard Sklar, and they're all just, Buddha was on that block, and these are just.
You're the sucker on the block.
And I didn't even know what was going on. I mean, I'm like married and I'm there, but clueless. You talk about clueless, just clueless.
Yeah.
But I just had a little bit of a talent. I had a little bit of a talent, and
still do. Come on,
a little bit for certain things, and kind of fashion my way through.
So, none of these stories have included online poker, so I don't know how this answer is going to go. But like, how did the Black Friday, like, did it impact anything at all? Like, even if you didn't play online, I think you did a little bit.
I did a little bit, a little bit.
A lot of the money, like I know, like sponsorship wise or whatever, like all that money dried up immediately. So like, did it affect you on one way or the other or both?
Well, that's kind of the sad part of it from my perspective is, like, as you can see, the theme is I'm always wanting to be included, and I was on the fringes. I mean, I remember Daniel coming over to the house, and him and Jennifer Harmon were sitting on the floor playing cards at one point. But I never got into the sponsorships, like with Full Tilt and UB or whatever the main sponsors were. I don't know why or whatnot. So I ended up going with a couple lower. Poker Host was one, and Sun Poker was another. But they gave me great deals, like 100 or 200,000.
Yeah,
just to travel the world and play the game we all love. That was amazing.
Better to be the biggest fish in one pond than like, it's me or Daniel Negreanu. Who do you want?
Yeah, exactly. So I did have those, and those obviously did dry up. And now you have these 15-year-olds learning, watching, getting excited, and coming up and just brewing in the background. So as 2008-9 come up, the game is getting tougher.
Definitely.
But there's never been a tougher game than me against myself. And after almost 10 years now, traveling the world, playing at the highest stakes and everything, I missed my kids, I have 2 wonderful boys, and things were falling apart. My second marriage with Marsha, I bought $1 million home. I thought, I'll get invested in real estate, and the real estate market crashes. And funny story about that too, by the way. Wow. I don't know if can I tell you that story?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
You can't say funny story and not hit me with a funny story.
This is probably rock bottom for me. 2008, around there, Marsha and I are kind of on the rocks, and I buy this huge house, over leveraged, of course, $8,000 a month just for the house, and trying to keep pace with everything. And I think Card Player calls me up and wants to do this Lives of the Rich and Degenerate or something, or the whatever, something degenerate. I just remember the degen part.
Well, that part's true.
They had those crib shows.
Right. I remember those.
They came over, and I'm doing this at the same time. For some unknown reason, my water got cut off. probably because I didn't pay it. And I've got all these guests, and I've got a thing, and I've got this grotto pool, and people are going to the bathroom. I'm taking a bucket and filling it in the pool and going to the back of the toilet and filling it up. Say, oh yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm going, hey, fucking turn on the fucking water. Oh my God, it was. Yeah. So that's kind of funny about that. So and then the market crashed, and my dog ran away. So that was the year I lost my wife.
Song.
I lost my wife, my dog, my house, and any ego I had left. And I found a beautiful, beautiful man. Became a key figure in my life, my mentor. But how I got introduced to him was interesting. Lane Flack.
Back-to-back Flack.
Back-to-back Flack, who was known to have some personal struggles at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And was running around with him and Gavin Smith for a little bit. Some fun guys to hang out with, for sure. But he says, hey, you should go talk to this guy, Eddie. His real name's Eddie Walters. He's known as Fast Eddie at the time, from the movie The Hustler and The Color of Money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And which, who knows if he is or not, but I did see the Balabushka. He did give me the original script to The Hustler, signed by Walter Tevis, and saw the pictures. So don't know if he is or not. He might have been hustling, but
if he is, then he's a good hustler. So either way,
talk about old Las Vegas. I remember going to see him for the first time, and yeah, that was it.
How did he mentor you? Like bring you back to?
Well, just first get my feet on the ground. Very practical, streetwise guy. Very streetwise. I'm more of an esoteric kind of dreamer. He's from a street hustler from New York.
Got it.
And kind of taught me a lot of the techniques and strategies of the game of life.
Your weaknesses were his strengths, kind of in that way.
I don't know that he had any weaknesses, but yeah, I had a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I started going to see him every week, and then I kind of left poker. I decided to move back to LA. My son was in his senior year of high school. His mom had remarried, my first wife, and they were going to Oklahoma because that's where her husband was from. And my son wanted to finish his high school. So I said, all right, I'll stay here with you, and rented their house. And for the next 2 years, 2009 to 2011, just kind of disappeared and off the tour. I think 2009, I finished another WPT final and went to play WSOP Europe, but then that was it. And then I spent the next couple of years with my son.
Okay, just not
Jimmy, my older son.
Nothing poker in that window at all?
Not really. I mean, I occasionally go over the weekend and play, Hawaiian Gardens or something.
Yeah.
Or, here and there maybe, but I was basically just want to be kind of make up that time.
I saw in 2016 you were in a Nick Cage movie. Was that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
So you were still in your acting roots a little bit.
So 2011, then he graduated, got him in college, came back to Las Vegas, and boy, you guys are triggering so many great memories.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Anyway, so then I met my current wife, who is just so happens to be a casting director, one of the largest casting directors in Las Vegas, for all the movies, TVs, and shows. But I'm not acting anymore. But as she's going in auditions, sometimes she needs a reader, for all these callbacks and stuff. So I went in. Can you read for these people? I says, all right.
You had me at read.
Yeah. I do like it. I do like it, but I'm out of it. And so I'm reading, and the producers kind of say, well, you're pretty good. You want to read for something? And they offered me to read for something. And I read and sent the tape back to New York, whoever makes the real decisions. I ended up getting that role with Nicolas Cage, small role in a movie called The Trust, 2016, 2017.
I don't think I saw that one.
I play his boss. Yeah.
All right. Oh, well,
With
definitely gonna be on the
Academy
list.
Award winner Nick Cage. By the way, it was so funny. Talk about, again, being overwhelmed. So I get my trailer. You guys didn't have my trailer or my car here. I'm really upset.
Hair and makeup.
No hair and makeup.
Fiji
I don't
water
know
was
what you guys
available.
are doing here, but bringing
Only makeup we got is what I'm in staking wise.
the only makeup we have is what. Oh, my
We're getting
God.
out at some point. We'll be back to even.
Yeah.
So Nick Cage deal, he gets at that time, I don't know. Well, I'm talking about my overwhelm. I'm thinking, oh fuck, I'm doing a scene with Nicolas Cage, and they're driving me to set. It's an outdoor scene. Nervous as hell, and I get there, meet Nick. Hey, how you doing? Oh, good to meet you. We're gonna walk through the scene. We're walking through the scene, and I'm nervous, right? This guy doesn't even know his fucking lines. It's like on the table, and I'm like ad-libbing, and he goes, "Oh, way to pick it up, man. It's right here, right here." I go, "Absolutely, Nick, you got it." That really brought it down, I mean, Nick's he was awesome. And Pig is one of one of my and
He makes so many movies. Like,
but he makes so many. No wonder. I mean, it's old hat, you don't know. And I'm like sweating.
he's like, what set am I on?
Yeah. So that was The Trust, and
did that give you like a desire to just get back into acting, or is that the only thing you did?
well, I actually just come off a movie.
Did you?
Yeah.
What movie?
Another one. It's called Vegas: A Love Story, by Ramin Barami, who did White Tiger. I don't know if you've seen that movie, or 99 Homes. He's a kind of social consciousness director.
I think I did see 99 Homes. That was
Right?
underrated. Is that the one about the mortgage crisis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he directed
love
that.
The ending,
Yeah.
Just kind of a sad movie, but honestly,
It is very sad. Yeah, they're sad. And White Tiger is just an amazing movie about the class system in India. So I just was an honor. I got a pretty good role in this one, which hopefully be out next year. So just dabbling a little bit, here and there.
That's cool. I guess at what point in that window did you get into poker coaching? Because like you have KennaJames.com is the website if you want to check it out.
Thank you.
Not the porn actress, please.
Right. It's
.com.
personal development with poker coaching to go alongside that. I'm a holistic more coach because of where I've come from and what's been taught to me. And so I further that tech. Tech is short for techniques. The techniques that helped me to get more grounded and manage life more effectively. And so I started that.
Who's your ideal student?
Somebody who wants to learn and discover and grow and understand how to manage this human experience better.
So it's like more life coaching than poker coaching, or
it's a combination of both, because whatever fear, fault, whatever you want to call it, that's holding you back from reaching your potential usually has something to do with some kind of flaw you have in life. You're not completing cycles, you're in resistance, you're trying to play not to lose, whatever it is. So maybe you have self-discipline issues or, emotional regulation issues. And so I combine that along with, okay, this is the techniques of how to do that. And then now let's apply it to poker. And I kind of see poker as a microcosm for life. It's a game within a game. And, in many ways, if I can give you just a little, my philosophy is when you're looking across the table and you're seeing these other people, it's just different aspects of yourself that you're trying to kind of overcome. Whether that's a lack of self-discipline, lack of patience, lack of understanding. So if you can kind of defeat that in yourself, you kind of win the game against others.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
That's deep.
I would say I might hit you up, actually. That sounds kind of nice. Feel like that's something I need.
There's just some really effective, very effective techniques that I've been taught. I try to pass along. And my students, they do really well. Brian, who's basically just graduated. You know, he's got his first PGT win and his first win, and he won the WPT.
Brian
Battistone, and recently, so that's kind of coming full circle. He's kind of just graduating now, and he's gonna move on. And
how long does somebody typically work with you?
Depends. Yeah. Really depends. What they're trying to do and what they're trying to accomplish,
and probably where they're starting from,
too, and where they're starting from. And then another guy, success story, just break even 1-2 player. Usually I work with talented people that are successful in some area, right? Mm-hmm. But there may be a deficiency here. And now he's playing in the large live streams, running his own game, and becoming an operator. So, cool. And then so those are top stories. And then there's some that, are in the middle of the journey and some just starting out. And I start with purpose and product. Why are you playing poker?
When did you get going on that? Start
probably roughly in 2008 or 9, right after I started, because I kind of understood that to really get something, you have to give it away. So as I was getting lessons, I always wanted to give it, because as you give it and you can help somebody else, you actually get the lesson. So I teach, they learn, I graduate. Okay. It's kind of the philosophy there.
Yeah, we've had some coaches on here. A lot of them say they get a lot better at poker and whatever just by trying to write out how they learn.
Right.
Yeah. I know I'm not good at conveying why I do stuff when I play poker, but some people are very.
He looked at me funny. I raised
either very gifted at it, or they go through that process of learning how they actually.
Yes. So then I started teaching WPT boot camps and WSOP, and did some seminar. That was a great gig too. But then I settled into after that seminars and all that, and I started doing more personal one-on-one, which is what I really like, as opposed to the sites where you have all the videos and the training programs and the curriculum. I don't have any curriculum. I mean, I do, but it's more like it's based on, I draw it and build something very personal and unique to that individual.
Yeah. So some of that is really good for a funnel to get to one-on-one, doing a webinar.
Right.
Or something.
No, I'm not saying anything against it. It's just not my style.
Right.
How much time do you dedicate just week to week with your students right now?
I've got 16, but not at one time. So in other words, I probably, some are part-time, some are holding, some what?
You said 16, not all at one time. I said, he's not that.
Oh, gotcha. So, and I do a lot of prep. I probably do an hour of prep, then an hour in session, and then another half hour out, so, so that's
sounds like a full-time job then. I mean,
yeah, I've never had a job because people, I don't,
I heard you were a waiter. Bad one.
Oh, no, I mean, yeah. I was a waiter. That's right. I got to tie up that story. So BJ, I was a server, right? Fast forward about 5 or 6 years, Mike Sexton and Mr. WPT, his sidekick, Vince Van Patten called me up. Hey, we're having a game, private game, Beverly Hills. You want to join us? Yeah. And so where's it at? Give me the address. It's above the restaurant I was a server in.
Short commute.
Yeah.
And now I'm fucking.
That's crazy. Yeah. You look back.
It's like a full circle thing. And anyway, so that was really cool.
That is pretty neat.
Anyway, so yeah. And then from, whatever. I don't know. Is this is kind of boring, probably.
Are you bored? Don't tune out, guys, because we're doing shots.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's shots. Yeah. Every show I saw, you guys are drinking, so I said these are my type of guys.
It is, and we're making him take shots by himself. Art's ceased drinking for a while, and I cannot smell tequila, or I will vomit all over the place.
Justin can't drink tequila physically, and I'm trying to, get the liver count how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So for different reasons, we've we've sadly left Kenna alone to drink by himself.
Oh my God!
Not
Boy,
drink all
the story just gets sadder and sadder.
I mean, yeah.
These are real tears in my eyes, guys. I want to be with the alcoholics, but
But that's when it started turning around, you know. So after rock bottom, I started turning around, just helping others, and as my main focus, and then still playing poker, but it wasn't my main focus.
So would you say poker is your main focus right now?
Definitely not.
No.
It's building and helping others and win at whatever game they're playing in life, whether it's poker, business, or life itself.
How do you obtain your clients? Like
Word of mouth.
Podcasts.
Don't really do. I'm the worst business person in marketing and stuff. You know, people find me. I've heard about you, you know, and I always just do a first introductory session for free. How can I help you? Why do you think I can help you? What are you trying to do? Kind of play the opposite side, you know. I wanna win. I go, just so I understand what's wrong with losing. You know, just to see what they're fighting against,
right?
And kind of get a profile of see if I can really, if they're really interested, and I can contribute.
I like that. And so it's just the website, or do you have like a social media as well that people can reach out to you on?
At Kenna_James is my Twitter, but again,
Not
very light on social media.
Afterwards.
Yeah, he may not respond to you.
Oh, yeah,
won't
true.
know that he got it.
True. Yeah, best just to email me, KennaJamesPoker@gmail.com.
There you go.
So anyway, yeah, so we're almost up. We went through the whole journey, huh?
Yeah, it's
Hope not. Hope there's more.
yeah. No, there you go. I mean, I was gonna I know I've been running into the last few months at these tournaments or whatever. Are you? I know your coaching is your main focus, but is tournaments is just like, okay, I'm going to coach in the morning and there's a tournament. Like, I mean, Vegas, we're very spoiled. Like
we are.
There's tons of good tournaments just about every day of the week. And, busy times of year or whatnot, but like, is it a nice outlet for you? It's like, I'm going to coach and then I'm going to go.
Yeah. I like to really, these 40-minute round tournaments are just kind of like the home run zone. I mean, I'll play the Wynn main tomorrow. Which is I'm excited about. I've got 3 Wynn trophies, which is nice.
The Wynn, the Encore, and then something in Macau.
You're gonna get to the amount
because they
of
look the
trophies.
same. Yeah.
Oh, they do. Oh, yeah. So I got those things. So I mean, I still have that. I still have quite a bit of ego left, unfortunately.
No, I mean,
and still the competitiveness about me. It's definitely tempered much over the years, but I still enjoy mixing it up and look forward to coming and play with you guys on table one.
that'd be great.
Once you rip off this Wynn tournament, you'll have plenty of bankroll.
I ran into a table last week in the Venetian 5K.
Yeah.
I was like, is it still true that you guys will give a seat up to anyone that wins 6 figures in a tournament? I was like, yes, within 48 hours. I think that's true. I can't remember if it's 24 or 48 hours.
That's a great policy.
But it's just like, myself included, typically when you do well in a tournament, you're not in the right mindset to play serious cash games.
No,
I don't care how good you think you are. You are not good.
Which is funny because I feel like we're both on the same page that if you win a tournament, you're a favorite to cash and do well in the next tournament because you got this momentum behind you. But if you go play cash, you're going to dust it.
Yeah.
Why do you think it? Let me ask you guys, why do you think that tournament players have such a difficult time transitioning to cash games and vice versa, cash game players to tournaments, or do you think it's not so much today?
No, I mean, I definitely think it's that way. The why, I couldn't put my finger on it. Otherwise, I think I'd be better at one or the other. But I think it's maybe they're kind of used to a linear way of thinking in tournaments. And in cash games, when you're playing 200 to 500 big blinds deep, it's really not the same game anymore. Like in tournaments, you have to plan 2 streets ahead, but in cash games, you can fuck around, check raise in different spots, and still have oodles of room to figure things out along the way. I think it's just tournaments are just a little more finite.
I think there's a little difference in surviving too is a big part of tournaments, and you might make a fold that you're like, oh, I know that the right play here is to pick up these chips or whatever, but if I actually put myself at risk, I'll just be out. Whereas like in a cash game, I mean, there's different mindsets, right? Like Grinder will play in a style that like he's going to lose infinite in a cash game if he plays that style, but he's on his parlay ticket in a tournament. If he's just like making people be at risk all the time, if he finally gets called and he's only 30%, he's like, oh, well, I picked up like 25 pots where I was, you know, they just folded. I was 100%. So now I'm in this spot where it's a flip or I'm a 30%. It's okay. Like if I lose this one, I'll be back where I started. If I win, I might win the tournament, you know? So I think just the play style is so different.
It really is. Yeah.
No, for sure. But yeah, I'm trying to pick one lane or the other right now. I don't know. I'm going to play a tournament today. I'm not sure what one.
Yeah.
I don't know which one yet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm jealous of your high stakes cash games performance.
Well,
grass is always greener, baby. Enjoy what you got.
Yeah. But yeah, either way, Tyler Patterson, who we had on a couple months ago, like he reached out and said he wants to play. Like we love giving people a chance at table one. Like it's kind of an audition. I'm not going to lie, but like we'll give everyone a shot. So please, like
I'd love to. Matter of fact, I'm playing golf with Tyler and Matt Savage next week.
Oh, nice.
Looking forward to it. Yep.
Trying to lose too much money.
Yeah.
That's Savage.
Oh, I heard he's savage.
He'll get you for $50.
And Savage watches all these podcasts, so I'm looking in the camera for you. Savage can be a little bit of not the best winner or the best loser in golf. Like in golf, yeah. Like he just has that aura about him or whatever. Where like, you know, if he's winning, he should win more. If he's losing, he shouldn't be losing. Like it's he can be tough sometimes to play golf against. That being said, it's probably been a couple years since I played against him. I would love to play with Matt Savage now.
Wow, I wish I would have gotten you in for next week, maybe the week after.
That's fine. I can just text him and ask him. It's fine.
Matt, if you're listening, leave a comment down below, and we will.
What's the line on how much money I'm going to win or lose against Savage?
I don't know. How drunk are you going to get?
Well, does he drink?
I don't think
not during golf. He won't. No.
He won't. He's that serious, huh?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's his weakness?
Losing.
Weakness, but okay.
I got to tell you, thanks, guys. No, seriously, I just wanted to take a minute to thank you for inviting me into your home, your studio, for being a light in the poker world to have a living room for the people in our community to come forth and talk and share their personal experiences and some of the game. And I think it's important. So thank you.
That is incredibly nice. And well, yeah, I say it all the time. Like, this is the favorite part of my week, and it's like a therapy session to me. And like, it feels good to finally, like to Art's point earlier, like I'm doing something that's creatively constructive to the poker community, and like I'm not taking anything from anybody, and it feels really nice to do this. Like,
it's weird to be not zero sum, right?
Exactly. Like, and that's the point. Like, I like having these heartfelt conversations with people I know or barely know are they're amazing. They make me feel all kinds of ways inside, and anything that I can produce emotionally for anybody out there listening or the poker community in general it means the world to me, truly.
Even if we were just making one person's commute a little bit better.
That's right.
In Boise, Idaho,
you guys are doing the right thing. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you for doing this.
You got it.
That's the pod.
That's the pod.
Me and my buddy, we making all of this money. Yeah, I know it's rude to be bragging. They never catching us slacking. Me and my buddy.
My first 6-figure score.